I'm Lauren with IndoorGardening.com, and today we want to talk about great houseplants for kids to grow. There are a lot of adults out there, grandparents, parents in general, that are growing houseplants, and as these children are being born and getting older, we kind of want to introduce them more into houseplants. And it can be a little tricky and a little difficult. You don't want to give your most precious baby plant to your most precious baby toddler that is probably going to drop it, chew on it, or do something crazy that you can't really handle. So what I recommend as a parent is to give your kids plants for them to take care of themselves. First up, we have African violets. African violets come in just straight green foliage, or you can get them variegated. They come in a variety of blooms. It's really, really fun for children to get them to bloom. It's also really easy for them to tell whether they need to be watered or not, because when the leaves are kind of soft and flexible, you know that they're going to need some water. They can also handle overwatering if you have a child that likes to water their plant every time they see it. So it's a perfect plant for them. And bonus, the leaves are actually soft and fuzzy, so the children can run up and pet the leaves whenever they want, and that's a way for them to interact with the plant without necessarily watering it, and it gives them a reason to go and check the plant on a daily and acclimate to plant care. Coleus get very big, very bushy. They come in a variety of colors, almost every single color out there imaginable. A Coleus comes in that. You can even get black ones or red ones or pink ones or green ones. You can have them with multiple colors in them, and they're just really, really pretty to grow. They'll get bigger really quickly, and their foliage will change colors. So if they don't get very much light, they'll lose some of that color, and if they get a lot of light, then the color will increase. So it's really, really fun to watch them grow, and kids absolutely love to see those bright colors. And because they can see new leaves on the plant almost daily, it's one of those come back to it and watch it grow kind of things. Also, what's really great about this plant is it doesn't need to be taken care of on a daily. So if you have a crazy busy household and you are running all over the place and you just don't have time to make sure that that plant is watered every day, or to remind your child to water it every day, or you have a child that just has no interest in watering it every day, then this plant can go quite a ways without water. It'll kind of droop over and look really sad, and if you drops a couple of leaves because it's been too dry for too long, it will continue to grow very quickly and it will bounce back from that. So it is fantastic for very busy and neglectful households as far as plants go. Highly recommend this, and the bright colors, children absolutely love them. Next up, we have Calathea. Calathea are one of my personal favorite plants. They need a higher humidity and they need to be watered all the time. So if you have a humidifier in your child's room, this is going to work out perfectly. If you have a child that absolutely loves to water constantly, this is also going to work out perfectly for you. The leaves also move up and down throughout the day. So as nighttime draws near, their foliage will go upright, and in the daytime, it'll come back out and come down. They're also very brightly colored and come in a variety. These plants grow really, really well. They don't necessarily grow really quickly, and the lighting can be a little tricky, but as long as there is a grow light nearby, these plants are going to be fine. So you can actually put a grow light in your child's bedroom ceiling. It won't change anything for the lighting as far as the children being able to play and whatnot goes, but it will make a big difference to the plants, and the plants will be able to grow even if you don't have a window in the room. So it's actually really, really cool. It's one of those low light plants that just kind of survives everything, and it's really fun for the children to be able to water it and see the leaves will actually come from the center and they will unfurl in a circular motion. So it's almost like a little rose as it's coming out and unfurling. It's really, really cool to watch, and kids seem to love it quite a bit. All right, next up we have a classic plant. It has been around for forever for a reason: spider plants. Spider plants, they can handle all of the neglect. They don't need a lot of water. Water them when you can and when you feel like it, or when your child feels like it. You can have them hanging, just adding a little bit of aesthetic to the child's room, or if you want the child to actually be able to care for it, you can place it on a table or a bookshelf and have them water it whenever they want. It's totally a non-toxic plant, as well as are all of these on this list, so you don't have to worry about that. And the kids actually really love them. It also teaches them the basis of propagation, so they can take the little baby spider plants and put them in water or some wet soil and watch them grow a whole new plant, which is incredibly empowering to children to be able to go and keep a plant alive and then grow a whole new one. Even as adults, we find it empowering when we're first learning to propagate. So this is just a really cool introduction to that, and they're actually considered invasive in some places, so you know it's going to survive really, really well and be able to handle whatever your child could possibly throw at it. Also, doesn't need a lot of light, which is another bonus since a lot of bedrooms don't have a lot of light. All right, another low maintenance setup is Terrarium Peperomia. So you can take these high humidity peperomia and you place them in a terrarium, you just close it up and the child can look at it every single day and watch it grow. They don't have to interact with it. So you don't have to worry about your little 1-year-old or 2-year-old dumping things everywhere and spilling things or overwatering or underwatering. You can just seal it up and look at it every day. It doesn't need to be watered very often, probably once every few months maybe, but even then it won't need a lot of water. It's not going to need a lot of maintenance. So this is another one of those that's really great if you have younger children. You don't really want them interacting with the plants too much other than just looking at them. This will be fantastic for that. It'll also be really great for them to be able to put it together themselves too. So if you have like a 3 or a 4-year-old or even older, they might enjoy placing the plants in there, and then you can kind of straighten everything out and they can watch it grow over time. There's a lot of little kits and stuff out there like that, and this is just one of those really, really cool things to be able to do. Peperomia in particular come in a variety of colors. My daughter has a pink one. She absolutely loves it. You can also get red ones, green ones. Napoleonites is actually shiny and sparkly in the light, so that's really cool as well. But there's just a lot of variety that you can do with this, and they grow very quickly, so it's really fun to kind of go and check on them and see that new foliage growing every single day. Another plant that could go in terrariums but doesn't necessarily have to is Fittonia, and these come in a lot of bright colors as well and can handle a lot of water. So you can give them as much water as they possibly could ever want and water it daily, and that will be fine. They come in greens, they come in pinks, they come in reds, they come in a variety of stripes. There is a white and green one out there that kind of looks like lightning bolts, which is really fun for the kids to watch grow. And then it grows upright. And this one is really cool to teach children how to prune plants with, because when you chop them, you can see that they divide and become two, and they could chop those and become another two. So this is a fun one that grows really quick that you can have children kind of chop back over time. And then you don't have to worry about doing anything crazy to get them to propagate. You can take those cuttings and put them in some water, and the children can watch the roots form with them. So this is just a really fun plant to grow with them. Can't recommend it enough. Even as an adult, I absolutely love watching the roots grow from these propagations and just seeing how it grows when I chop it. It's just so fun. Another plant that grows incredibly quickly is Hoya Australis. Hoya Australis in particular, it comes in these green waxy leaves and it just grows so quickly. You get a 1 or a 2 leaf cutting in a tiny pot and you can watch it grow and vine up over everything. It's really cool to watch. They produce these long vines and they'll try to grab and wrap around stuff, and then after they've reached and grabbed something, they will produce these little leaves that get bigger and bigger and bigger every day. Every single day. So it's really fun to watch this plant grow, and you don't have to water it very often. They do love a lot of light though. So if you have a big window with a lot of light, or a windowsill that gets some really good light, this is one of those perfect windowsill plants. Just give it something to climb and it will go so crazy, and your child will be amazed to see what it's going to grab and what it's going to do next. It's a very interactive plant. So very fun. One of the the few Hoya that I would recommend for children as far as easy care goes. It's definitely a beginner Hoya, and I cannot recommend it for children enough just because it's one of those few plants that does grow and vine that is also non-toxic as well, so it kind of exposes children to a climbing plant and just a whole other aspect of plant parenthood and seeing how plants can kind of do their own thing and have a personality as a plant. It's really interesting. Hopefully this gave you some ideas on how to interact with your children and plants and how to get kids into plants, and just a couple of plant ideas for you and your children to both enjoy together. Make sure you check out indoorgardening.com while you wait for our next video. There's lots of information there for you. We're always happy to help. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!